We're very concerned about our property values, about the noise, and about the quality of life related to that venue being in operation. And wanted to voice our concern because I know there was a meeting last year in which they were denied, as far as I understand how it operates, they were denied a special use permit by the Planning and Zoning Commission. And yet they've been in operation this year and have been advertising that venue all over the place for over a year. And we're deeply concerned about what that can do to the value. Number one, the value of our homes, obviously the quality of life, having that much noise that helps.
Okay. I think.
I'm Rosemary Hind. I'm a realtor in Big Canoe, and I have been for many years. And I'm very concerned about the property value that we have in Big Canoe and maintaining that. And anything that's going to devalue property there is a concern, not only to us, but it should be a concern to Pickens County because a tremendous amount of taxes pour in from that particular area and other properties, even in Bench Street and everything. So I would hope that any consideration of that would be taken into, concern.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Diana Woodson. I live on Yearling Lane and have actually owned the property since 1990 and have lived there permanently since 2001. And our property we're really affected by the noise that comes from there. And if you get in my backyard, you think you're in the middle of a band or something. And this is not Big Canoe, which is, she said, we pay a lot of taxes and we love the privacy, the beauty, and just the quality of life in Big Canoe. And really don't feel that this is the place that it's appropriate to have a wedding venue.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
I'm Rosie Crowe. I live in Cove Lake. My husband John. We were in this room about a year ago for a rezoning hearing for this special event site, and it was soundly and roundly unanimously defeated. In spite of that, the woman who operates it continues to operate. We haven't heard noise from it yet because with this kind of weather, we haven't been outside in the evening. We don't want to hear noise. We don't want to have traffic. The fact that she doesn't call it a wedding site, she calls it a special event site, which makes me think she could have a motorcycle rumble over there. She could have a 3-day Woodstock concert. She could have an all-night 100-voice choir, gospel choir sing. The reason it was denied was that there were so many loose moving ends to it. And the petition has still not been rezoned, and yet she's still operating. I think you said that she's fully booked through June and October for weddings and other weekends between them, but we'd like to have some resolution to that.
All right, thank you. Any other comments?
Well,
Yes.
oh, go ahead. I just had a question. Since they are zoned agricultural, how could they be operating a commercial venture on that property? And do they have a business license to engage in this business? That's my other question.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
name is Henrietta Hall. I live here in Diana on Yearling Lane, and our road backs up to the Tatum property. They have a very conspicuous online presence, if you want to go look. They have a website up and running where they advertise all this stuff that they're offering, and we would really like to know if they're operating legally. I moved up here from Atlanta for the peace and quiet, and it's not peaceful and quiet anymore.
Any other comments?
Can I make a comment? I'm Linda Tatum. That's my problem.
Please stand.
Yeah. Couple things. We have, for the 2015 year, 8 nights of someone using our property for a family reunion. We had a lady in Big Canoe that rented our place for artist forum that came, and it's all done through VRBO, which there are quite a few homes within Big Canoe and Bed Tree that are rented out with similar uses. You can go to VRBO, and there are 87 homes in Big Canoe. Quite a few of them advertise that it's a perfect place for corporate retreat, getaways, special events, including catering on the website. That doesn't include other things through Mountain Vista Rentals has 212 homes. And they advertise on their website that the property that you can rent through Big Canoe can be used for, that is sundry of items too. We were under the impression if we rented our house through VRBO, we are not providing any services to anybody. They pay to rent my place and use it as they please. I've made sure that if there is a wedding out there, I've told them of what the noise ordinances in Big Canoe of 50 feet in front of a speaker, the noise can't be more than 50 decibels. And I make sure I have somebody there that enforces that. Even though in Pickens County, there is no noise ordinances. That's trying to be a good neighbor. My husband and I basically wanted to do some things out there that is done within Big Canoe Bend Trade, even in Jasper, there's places that are like that, and not people that have their houses with VRBO within Big Canoe do not have businesses licenses to do that activity. We were trying to figure out some things to do on our property to earn a little extra income. It's a lot of money. It's our second home. We're living in Florida now, to keep it maintained so that the yard is mowed and that kind of stuff. I was gonna say something, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, we could do things like, we could do a chicken farm. We have had so many friends say, hey, can we do a little cabin up at the top and do hunting on your property? Have like a little hunting place free of charge. Skeet shooting, my boys wanted to put a skeet shooting thing in. We could do that. We could do a dirt bike track for my kids' friends to come. There's a lot of things we could do that would impact the Big Canoe area a lot more days a year than maybe 10 to 12. The barn is not air conditioned, so you're very limited on someone wanting to use it in the heat of summer. I mean, the reason it looks like if you go on VRBO that it's booked a lot is because we're here for the summer. And I have it blocked out, but I have 8 days for the entire 2015 season or year that is booked for somebody that is paying me to use my property. So I just don't think that it should be that big of a deal. I think we're trying to be good neighbors and do some things that are less impact than what they could be. And we're abiding by the noise conditions that they have within Big Canoe, which we don't have to do that. I mean, we can have a party out there every weekend with our friends and have it go till 3 in the morning and have it really blaring. But we've chosen to try to be a real good neighbor. You know, we've done things like let the fire department come in our property with an access road out the back by the Ridgeview Way. So if there ever were a fire, they could come through our property to get there to help fight a fire. We allowed a person that built their house on top of Cox Mountain but didn't have a good view to go and vista prune some of our trees down so they could have a pretty view of the land. We really are good neighbors. We're not trying to be ugly people.
Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
My name is Ruth Harshbarger, and I live on Yearling Lane along with some of these other people. The noise level, I was inside my house, the furnace running, it was cold outside, and I could hear this god-awful noise inside with my door shut. Where did it come from? It came from her property. All of us will attest to it, that we heard it. Right, ladies?
Oh, yeah, it's loud.
It's
I
loud.
should have said that first.
Easy,
that
easy,
first-
one
I'm
at a
sorry.
time,
Okay.
one at a time.
My concern is the noise and the fact that there was skeet shooting, or we were told there was skeet shooting there. One of the bullets landed in one of my friends right there at her house.
You did.
One of the bullets, stray bullet. Gee, isn't that interesting? How did it get there? Same night it was blaring music. It's awful.
I will say that the first event out there was a Big Key resident, John Bice, David and Jackie Jacobs, their son, got married at our farm. That was the first event out there. And unfortunately, because he was a high school friend of my daughter's, we let them have free reign at our place because they didn't pay us to use it. It was like, go ahead, you can use our farm. We have not lived in our farm since 2010. And so if there was bullets, we haven't been there. So, and I know that we have.
Somebody's been there.
All right,
I know
all
that
right,
we have-
hold.
I know that we have a problem with,
If I may,
people
make a
poaching
suggestion.
on our
I'm
property.
gonna make a quick suggestion. If you could put a small group together and send some recommendations to the county to see what you would like to have done other than running this woman off completely off the property. If there's some sort of guidelines we can do, now wait a minute, that we can do that. That's just a suggestion. I'm just throwing it out there. And I'm not in here for a debate. We're just open for comments. So.
And we want to be good neighbors.
Easy now, I understand.
We want to be
That's
good
it.
neighbors.
Yes, ma'am.
Commissioner, the reason that we're here is we're speaking to the county.
You're
I
welcome.
I
I'm
have,
sorry.
we're speaking to the county. We're
Okay.
asking, we're sharing our concerns with the county because there are
Understand.
no noise ordinances. And so, well, where Ms. Tatum has every good intent, and I totally believe everything she's saying, I have no reason not to believe that she's a good neighbor, I have no reason to.
So you're
believe-
looking for, so what you're requesting is a noise ordinance?
No, two things I'm concerned about. Number one, she can't police. You know that when you rent a place, you can't police what people do when you rent your place out. A couple of weeks ago, there were people out in my backyard, in the Tatums, at midnight doing Indian dances. And it may not seem like a big deal, but if you're trying to relax in your own home, which is why I moved up here, it is a big deal. So while we recognize that she has a good heart, and I don't dispute that, this isn't a personal matter. It's about, the county has no noise ordinances, so there's nothing to stop anybody from doing that. We can't call the county marshal and say, can you come out and take care of this? Because there's no ordinance that says that he should. That's number one. Number two, I don't know about you, but if I would have known this 6 months ago when I purchased this home, and I would have known there was a wedding venue going to be right in my backyard, I would not have purchased this home. I would not have bought this home. However, I did, and now I'm here. I don't think I'm going to have an easy time selling my home. And from all the information that I've gathered, homes, residential property around wedding venues decline, their value declines at up to 20%. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of tax base too. So that's why we're here. It's not about an argument with the neighbor. It's about getting the county to get involved, find out why we have somebody operating without a business, and what we can do to make sure that all of the property owners are protected in Pickens County, not just Ms. Tatum.
Thank you.
One, I also own a property on just so everybody knows. I own the lot 9068.
Any other comments? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's about 5 after 6. I want to thank you all for being here, and we'll take your advice. Thank you very much.